when we have these alternate lifetime experiences, especially like I said, if they're repeated, meaning in many space-time resonances where you happen to repeat in that same culture, or something traumatic happened, or for example, if a wrong was done. So, for example, I've worked on clients where they've had alternate lifetime experiences where in that lifetime they are betrayed by somebody that they love. So it's hard for them to trust people in this lifetime.
I was just going to ask, does that influence our distortion patterns?
Yes, because it's happening in the eternal now. I know it's kind of trippy.
Yeah.
It's happening in the eternal now. So when the bleed through is enough, when the distortion is strong enough, or the affinity is strong enough, you're one, right? So you're going to, on some level, even if it's not consciously, register that and recreate it in this lifetime. So the reason frequency work is so great, so there's all kinds of past life regressions and stuff like this. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And I've heard that they do great things, and that's wonderful. So the thing about frequency work that's fantastic is that it happens in the eternal now. That's where frequency work happens, because it's at the level of spirit. It has to happen at that level in order for it to be frequency work at all.
It doesn't happen here.
It doesn't happen in the physical.
In the dense,
yeah, it happens in spirit, at spirit level, in the eternal now. Okay, beyond space and time, meaning linear time and space. It happens at that higher level. So that's why, for me, I can delete the distortion in the alternate lifetime. So what happens? Not only does it resolve in this lifetime, it resolves in those lifetimes. Because you're working at the source of it, which is in the eternal now. Does that make sense? Yeah. Everything is happening in the eternal now. So if you're working at that level and releasing the distortion pattern, it's like the distortion pattern that governs all of the lifetimes.
Right.
Right? So it changes.
Do you think that's ever a negative thing, like you're affecting realities in a way that,
that's a good question.
I wonder about, because you see I'm thinking about movies that
like the butterfly effect or
yes,
whatever.
where they go back in time and then, now they just,
with
they've
their
changed free
something.
will, they change and now
But
you're doing it for the better, so I don't know.
Well, what I would say about that is I am not invested in an outcome. So in those movies, they're trying to change something because they're trying to change what happens today in the same way.
They don't want their mom to
die or whatever.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not that specific. So I'm never really trying to make something in the physical happen.
Yeah.
I'm releasing a distortion that's being presented to me by the person's higher self to resolve in this moment as priority. So it means that at that point, they're getting stuck, right? Whether it's in this lifetime and or others. And it's time for it to be released so that that being's resonance can rise as a whole. Makes sense?
Yeah.
So it's not a 3D outcome of must resolve this to get that.
Yeah.
It's more like resonance needs to rise. We need to release this distortion that's happening either in this lifetime and in others so that the resonance of the whole can rise.
Yeah, that's very different.
How that shows up in the physical, I have no idea.
And it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I know that sounds horrible to some people, but it's true because it's really about the resonance rising.
Right.
So it's not like it's not driven in the same way that those movies would portray.
See that. And really, when you help someone's resonance to rise, it affects everyone else for the better. So that really just sounds like a great thing that you're doing. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, so the resonance level will rise in like I said, not only in this lifetime, but the other lifetimes. So things start to resolve. And again, it's not like I'm in there with saying this person now needs to resolve this relationship with their mother, and in this life it has to be like that. It's not that. It's just all of a sudden this clears, and what happens as a result of that, it's not for me. It's like that is what the higher self is dictating. So I'm following.
Wow, that is so fascinating.